I'm joined with Heather today from Compass. It's always a joy to have you on set. It's been a while though.
Yes, it has.
Oh, welcome back.
Thank you.
And you're celebrating 40 years at Compass. That's amazing.
We are.
Yeah, last time you were here it was 35.
Yes.
That's how long it's been.
Right.
So tell us about the 40 years. Tell us about Compass and what's going on.
Yeah, so we provide hospice and palliative care and grief services within Queen Anne's, Caroline, and Kent counties.
Right.
So through the hospice program, we see patients mostly in their home environment, and that is somebody who has a terminal illness. So generally speaking, 6 months or less to live.
Right.
With that said, we don't just kick somebody out of hospice if they live longer than 6 months, right? There's criteria to meet, and there's doctors and nurses and social workers and our whole team evaluating the patient as the time goes under hospice. There's a myth out there that it's for cancer only, and that is very untrue. It's for any end-stage illness. So cardiac, congestive heart failure, pulmonary issues, dementia, Alzheimer's. So anything that you have a life-limiting illness for. It's not just for older people, because unfortunately we see children and we see adults of all ages under hospice services.
Right. But it's not just for like those last seconds.
Right.
Because you could come in earlier and actually extend that time. So can we talk about that a little bit?
Sure, sure. So that's a great point, because what we are seeing, especially now, is that patients are accepting hospice the last couple days to weeks of life.
Right.
And that's not really a great hospice experience for someone. When you think about somebody having our services for 6 months, you get a trusting relationship with the staff. You are supported much more. Hospice is a holistic approach to care too. So you're not just caring for the person who has the illness, you're caring for the whole family unit.
Right.
So it's so much support to the family as they and the patient navigate their illness together.
Right. And then the last 4 months could maybe be the last 5 or 6 months with care, and it'll be positive for everyone.
Right.
That's such I mean, my mind was blown when I found that out, like just the stats of how time could increase with hospice care.
Right. Another myth is that people think, oh, if I accept hospice, I'm giving up.
Right.
Or there's no hope left. And really, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
We look at it as reframing hope and coming alongside of people and having them be able to make their own decisions as their illness plays out. You know, none of us really know how much time we have, truly.
Right. Perfect. And you had talked about services a little bit earlier. You mentioned hospice. You'd also mentioned palliative care. And those are different things.
Yes.
And there might be a lot of people that never even heard that term before.
Right.
So could you kind of walk us through that?
Sure. So we have a palliative care program, and that we also see patients in their home for that as well. And palliative care is really a bit upstream from hospice. We try to gauge it about 2 years to live. So it's anybody that has a serious illness. So not necessarily life-limiting, but serious. So you have a chronic illness, you have to keep going back and forth to specialists to get your symptoms managed, to be able to stay comfortable. Maybe you're in and out of the hospital. So we come into the home to help keep those symptoms at bay and managed.
Right.
So you're able to stay home and have the best quality of life that you possibly can.
I mean, as a general rule of thumb, instead of looking at Compass as a negative or the end, look at it as extending the good times or possibly just more time together. And you guys have been doing this for 40 years. You know what you're doing at this point.
Right.
But I imagine you're going to try at least do this for another 40, right?
Sure.
Yeah, why not? As long as we're there.
It might not be me at the helm, but hopefully Compass will be around for the next 40 years.